I've thought about many ways to do this type of episode. I thought about maybe a video essay or something like that because this has been on my mind a lot recently. And I figured even though this was a problem that was maybe a year ago or something like that, but it just came back into my mind, and now I feel like it should be addressed at some point. And I feel like even if nobody sees this, I mean, who cares? But I just wanted to get it out there. So EA, Electronic Arts, a corporation of well-renowned in the industry, not because of quality, mind you, but because of microtransactions and many sort of rehashed, repurposed FIFA games, sports games, just overall not allowing art to be able to thrive in a business like this. So to be more in tune with the theme of this channel, more around gameplay, I figured instead of doing just a video essay about it, because I can't really do that stuff, so I figured we can play through this a little bit to show what EA has really done to art and to things that could have been made, could have been amazing. And let's just head right in. Here we go. Let's start the cutscene. Let's see the cutscene, and then we can I can start talking about all this amazing, just imaginative work, which is another thing EA just won't allow anymore. But let's just see this.
Come now, Alice. It's only a dream.
It's not a dream, it's a memory. And it makes me sick.
Now, focus. Wait. You're floating again. Weightless. A cipher. Relax.
I'm in hell.
Forget it. Abandon that memory. It's unproductive. Go to Wonderland.
I can't. I'm trapped in my past.
Sergeant, this girl's badly burned. Call for a doctor!
She'll be all right.
No, Alice. Discard that delusion. Forget it. Go to Wonderland.
I'd rather not, Doctor. My Wonderland's shattered. It's dead to me.
Your preference doesn't signify, girl. Now, Alice, where are you?
I'm sailing with a friend. It's different somehow. Things have changed.
Change is good. It's the first link in the chain of forgetting.
What's happening? Are you mad?
I'm not mad.
Rabbit,
That's not right. What's he doing?
is something wrong?
Something wrong?
No, not that!
Don't struggle, Alice. Let the new Wonderland emerge.
Pollution. Corruption. It's killing me. Wonderland is destroyed. My mind is in ruins.
Forget it, Alice. Block that dream. Wake at the sound. There, Alice. Better now, aren't we?
My head's exploded and there's a steam hammer in my chest.
Yes, well, the cost of forgetting is high.
My memories make me vomit. What can I...
Remember other things.
I want to forget. Who would choose to be alone, imprisoned by their broken memories?
I'll set you free, Alice. Memory is a curse more often than a blessing.
So you've said many times, and
And I will say again, the past must be paid for. Now, before our next session, collect those pills from our high street chemist.
Very well, Doctor.
It's my turn to forget, Alice.
Now, Charlie, your pa was hung for killing your ma who beat you. Let's forget that, shall we? The past is dead, Charlie.
This is sort of a video not just on EA, because there are more companies that are doing this nowadays, like Ubisoft, which with the new Assassin's Creed game and the new Star Wars Outlaws game. But I really just wanted to focus on this right now because this is what's fresh in my mind right now, is that with a property like Alice in Wonderland like this, you get, which is, I think it's in the public domain, I believe, and yet it's made by a director called American McGee. It's a fantastic interpretation of Alice in Wonderland, where it's like a dark interpretation where she's genuinely insane, and you get a look into this world that is sort of warped and destroyed. It sort of reflects reality in Alice's eyes.
Want some?
While her imagination, well, I mean, this sort of reflects the real story, the original story as well. That sort of that her imagination and what she sees, what she wants to escape from, is with a more colorful, imaginative, and just a place you'd want to be in to be mad. Abandoned toys and worn-out shoes have a past, and the people who used them too. My past was consumed by fire. But American McGee had this incredible idea of this game, of this sort of story, and he had pitched sort of, not pitched really, but had the idea for 3 games in the Alice series.
Not for my drawings and the photographs. This could pass for my room at the asylum.
Yeah, see, she's genuinely crazy. And he was able to make the first 2 because the first one came out in, I think, around 2004 or something like that, and or 2002, and this one came out in 2011. Those who know the story will help me out here in the comments. But the story being that he goes, or EA, I think, went to him, I think in 2018 or 2019, and said, hey, can you make designs for a 3rd game? And so he then he put together a team and created a design Bible of ideas and originality that had never been seen before in terms of a game like this, where it closes out Alice's story in an incredible manner that I think goes through the 5 stages of grief, I believe, and... Do you like Boccolini, Michi? But American McGee had pointed out... She ever work? Hang on, well, let's hear this line.
Sandman's coming in his train of cars, with moonbeam windows and with wheels of stars. So hush, you little ones, and have no fear. The man in the moon is the engineer.
Oh, man. It's filled with beautiful lines like this, beautiful artwork. That we haven't been able to see yet because we're still in reality. We haven't been to Wonderland yet. But storytelling is such an important art form. I feel like companies like EA or Ubisoft or big companies that don't care about originality or making something incredible. It's what they don't understand is the power of the story and why companies like From Software and now the new game Black Myth Wukong is doing so fantastically. I mean, they are in the video game business, so if the game sucks, then who cares, right? Which is all that, you know, EA and Ubisoft care about, right? They take what works and then they rehash it, restamp it, I mean, they put it through the ringer until it doesn't work anymore. But when you mix those things with a fantastic story, like something like what The Last of Us did with Naughty Dog, it creates a world that people can truly escape to, that people can really latch onto and relate to, and it can change people. It can really change people's lives. And
My stars and garters.
My stars and garters.
Slumming again, are we?
Nurse Witless. What luck. Twice in as many months.
Out on your own? You look frazzled, dearie. Not doing well?
Not really.
Come along home then and look at my pigeons. Pretty birds, like you.
I don't think so. Our last visit cost me several pounds and got me nowhere.
I might recall where your mangy rabbit got to. Still a mess. No surprise. Her kin roasted like chestnuts right before her eyes. 10 years in Rutledge Asylum wasted everyone's time. Dr. Bumby won't do better. Still hauling out her questions. The fire, her memory. I deserve consideration, don't I? Who found her new clothes? Who got her a place at Bumby's? Where'd she be without me? on the street selling her backside. Likes my pigeons, though. She's doled out the odd pound or two. But what I know is worth more than that. Kept her secret, haven't I? Heard her say, "Oh, died on my account, I couldn't save you." I've told her my silence is for sale. Cheap. I'm a good sort, really. Not like her nanny, that uppity whore, or that lawyer fellow Radcliffe took a stupid rabbit. Need money. Warned her I'd tell the coppers if she didn't make a donation to my upkeep. She yells and goes off her head. Days she can't remember her name, what I heard.
What I heard. No, but stories are so incredible, and American McGee had created something incredible. A coop is really just a cage, but the birds don't seem to mind. See, even a little line like that has put so much thought behind it. But I'm gonna put the link to the design Bible in the description, so that way, please, you all take a look at it and read it.
To send me back to the asylum? I won't say
Hang on, we'll look at this as well, and then we'll truly get back into the gameplay a little bit.
Need a drink.
Ooh! And now we go!
Pretty birds, like you.
Let's fall down the hole.
Only a dream.
It's only a dream, Alice. And now we're here. We're fine. We've made it to Wonderland. But American McGee made an incredible creation with Alice 3. It's gonna be called. It would have been called Alice Asylum. And he went to EA, and he got so passionate about making the game. He went every incredible detail was so thought out, which you could look at in the design Bible in the description. But he created a masterpiece, and then so he went back to EA and pitched his idea for a third game, Alice Asylum,
Very upsetting journey.
with the Bible.
But I'm rid of Pris, or whatever she's become. At least the place I've landed is somewhat familiar.
Of course, it's somewhat familiar.
About time, too, Alice.
There's chess.
Blasted cat. Don't try to bully me. I'm very much on edge.
Don't try to bully me.
Perfect. When you're not on edge, you're taking up too much space.
You're no help at all.
But you know I can be.
I'll frighten myself when necessary, thanks very much.
I can't believe this game was made in 2011. I feel like it still looks incredible.
A new law reigns in this Wonderland, Alice. It's very rough justice all round. We're at risk here. You be on your guard.
But he went to EA and pitched the third Alice in Wonderland game. And EA said no. And so American McGee kept going back. He fought them for like a year to try and get this thing made, because after trying to create the Bible for it and creating such intricate detail to the game, it's such passion, and everybody who helped to work on it put so much passion and blood and sweat into creating those designs. So he kept going back to EA. For probably a year, he fought with them to try and get it made.
If you leap from that table again, Alice, I'll expire. You're 2 times too reckless, my girl.
And the music is so incredible.
Amanita muscaria, Alice, is merely a stinky toadstool. A spongy consistency, but
poisonous. Oh, we have another amazing game mechanic here as well.
Small packages?
Though lacking a bathing costume, a plunge in that pool is in order.
My God, I'm shrinking in this potion. Shall I disappear?
Almost. But the upside is that while smaller, you can see things that are nearly invisible to your bigger self.
Ah, I get it. Right. Forests for the trees. just the other way round. Short-sighted is more than a matter of perspective.
But EA's reasoning for saying no was that they said, we don't believe there's a market for this type of game. And that's okay for them to say. Why is she walking like that? We can shrink now that we've drunk from the drinking potion, but we can shrink anytime we want. And it shows us special passageways and
Vixen in her hidey hole.
a vixen in a hidey hole. Which is okay for EA to say something like that, but American McGee went back to them for a year to try and create the game. He suggested so many different ways and loopholes for him to make the game. He offered to buy the rights, and then EA, they said, Alice is a staple of our library. We aren't willing to give up the rights to that game as of yet. And he went back again and again and again to try and get the rights from them, but they wouldn't do anything. And you would think if you tried to make a game, or if you have an IP that you believe is a staple of your library and you wouldn't want to do anything with it, like, how does that make any sense? And so American McGee even thought, well, maybe I could just change the name. I can make this because we're so passionate about this, we really want to do this. So he thought of changing the name or something because Alice in Wonderland is public domain, so he thought it would be a great idea to try and do that. But he realized that that in his previous contract in the previous 2 games, because this is a sequel in a series of 2 games, the third one not having been made, or the third one they were trying to make, that in those contracts it said that he couldn't do anything related to Alice in any way, shape, or form unless it's for EA. So they really put him into a corner where he can't create. And forcing and having an artist in a corner where they can't do anything with a property that they have built with their own bare hands that EA has only published with. EA hadn't done anything to create these games, and EA doesn't do anything to create any type of game, such as like the Jedi games, Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order, those types of games, right?
I've not come back here looking for a fight.
Really? That's a pity.
That's
One's
a pity.
certainly looking for you.
Those games, they had nothing to do with other than publishing those games. Respawn Entertainment is the developer that actually made the game, but EA takes the credit because they're a corporate entity that really wants the money, right? Which makes sense because this is a business, but to be able to do something like that, to take out the artistry, the originality, and what makes a game and a story incredible, is, I think, just pure evil. Something that should never be worthy enough to take hold of art, because that's what this is. Something that an artist really wants to create and cannot, and he is bound by legality to stop and to no longer do it. He offered to put up the money himself to EA, so that way the only thing EA has to do is put up the IP and publish the game. That's all they had to do, because EA basically came to him and said, give us some designs, and they didn't give him any money. He already had to go to Patreon to ask fans to put up the money so that he could get a developer team in order so that
Gross and evil and a sinking monstrosity.
that way they can create something. Just create something to give to EA. They had to go to the fans because EA wouldn't give them anything to pitch to EA for. So you know what I mean? I don't know if this is probably I don't know if this is confusing or not, but basically EA told them to give them something that EA wouldn't pay for. So American McGee had to go to the fans to pay for him, and the fans did it because they wanted a third game and a third story to finally close off Alice's story. It was going to be made in the fancy Unreal Engine 5, but EA closed the door on American McGee and their Alice franchise, which sucks so much because it's art and you're tying the artist behind a paywall pretty much. And EA already being disliked by so much of the gaming community because 90% of their games now, besides the Jedi games, are hidden behind paywalls and microtransactions, and they are now the poster boy for that kind of things, yet all sorts of new companies, well, I guess they're not new companies, but the companies that are trying out these new ideas for themselves, like Ubisoft, in particular, like I mentioned before, with Star Wars Outlaws and the new Assassin's Creed game, it's just that this sort of idea that you will own nothing and be happy is the idea that kills art and joy. It's very upsetting to watch happen, and I hope that
Again, Alice.
this idea of what happened to Alice gets out and hope
Yes,
that we
well,
can
you
get on
taught
this
me
design
manners,
Bible. I've
and
heard
I've
that
lost my
fans
taste
are
for
trying to
mad women.
create the game
Strictly
based on the
porcine
Bible,
diet for me.
and I
Everything's
really hope
better
that's
with bacon,
true.
don't you agree?
I haven't
Of
seen
course
anything
you do.
about it, but I've heard
Now,
that
there are
it's
big
been on
snouts
TikTok and
scattered
things like
about.
that, but I haven't seen
I
it.
heard a few
I
behind
really
the
hope
house.
it's true
Go
because
fetch
this
them for me. But take care for the pests
the
that
art
block
should be
your
made.
way.
And
Cover
with
them up
American
if they
McGee, he said he's
They need
tried so
spice,
hard, and he
and you're
has
just
for
a
like
gift.
3 or 4 years to
Go,
try and get the
to
third
season
game
them for
made.
me.
And
You'll find that grinder
with
serviceable.
running
Why not
into
season your own
every
thick parts?
legal
Matter of
dead end
priorities.
that he
My
could run
alabaster
into that he
skin
can't
needs
do
protection from
anything
the disgusting
about.
creatures
So he's just
running
said he's
amok
done.
amidst the
He said he's
environs.
done. He can no
But
longer
one
do
gets
this. He can no
peckish.
longer
Look, all you have to do is listen for the oink, then shoot
be a
the
part of
snout.
anything, Alice. Even
You
if by
may like the
some
results.
miracle EA
I
decides to do
certainly
something
will.
with this IP, American McGee has said he's out. He said he wouldn't even be a part of it. It would hurt too much, and I completely understand that for being an artist that just can't do anything, that being shut down so many times that years later they say, okay, fine. It would just feel like a punch to the face that I can understand he wouldn't want to be a part of anymore. So I hope things like this really come to light and companies really start to take seriously what they're doing to not only their audience but their developers and people that really love these games and have so much love for these stories that mean so much that the corporate ideals are completely blind to. But anyway, this video is basically me just ranting because it's been on my mind. I've been replaying this game recently, and it's a fantastic game that makes me upset because of what they did to the developer of this game. Because its idea and story is so unique and special that to be shot down and destroyed like this is so sad. But this was a much different type of video than I've done before. So I'm sorry if this just. I mean, this is really just a rant. I mean, a way for me to just post a rant, pretty much. But I feel like I really need to get this off my chest. That way, at least it's on the channel, and hopefully something about this idea can maybe something good will come out of it. But I just really hate that this happens, and I think a lot of people do too. And it's not just the fact that EA said no, it's the fact that they said no to a game for free, pretty much. Because American McGee said, I will put up the money, I will have fans on Patreon basically donate as much money as possible so that way all EA had to do was publish it, but EA strongly just said no to every possibility that they could go for a third Alice. That makes no possible sense whatsoever. And to have that passion and imaginative creativity just destroyed is just, it's just so upsetting. So that's what it is. You know, screw EA for all of this, and I hope times can change. I hope things can change about this situation, but I honestly doubt it. I don't think EA will ever do anything with that, but just the fact that they said that Alice is a staple of our library, and that's why they're not going to do a third game. It doesn't make any sense. I highly suggest looking through the design Bible, because it's so gorgeous and intricately thought out that it's just, it's so incredible and sad to look at something that will never be. But it might be, because I hear fans that are working on it, and I hope that's true. But anyway, I'm gonna draw this to a close because I've been ranting for long enough. But I just wanted to put this video out there just because, and maybe something will come out of it. I doubt it, but it's just been on my mind. I know this is sort of an old issue, but anyway, I hope you go and buy and download Alice Madness Returns or the original Alice game, American McGee's Alice. It's incredible. The idea and imagination behind it is so unique and original that I highly recommend it. You won't be disappointed. And screw EA. So thank you all so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, subscribe, like, comment down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.